if you just take a look at the quads, the legs, just take a look at that man's legs. I don't really know what to say about it. You know who knew what to say about it? Eli Manning, his former teammate, who chimed in and wrote on there, "Please stop photoshopping my legs onto your body," which is a hilarious thing for Eli to say. But it does. First, you just sort of have to sit back in awe of the legs that Saquon Barkley has.
Yeah.
But then it does make you wonder about the quarterback that he plays with now, and that is Daniel Jones. And Bart, you host the radio show every single day, and you know the New York situation as well as anybody does. So what is your sense as far as the New York Giants and Daniel Jones? They draft him 6 overall, which shocked a lot of people. They have brought in a lot of pieces. They keep trying to remake that offensive line. Would you describe this season as make or break for Daniel Jones?
Not only is this a make or break year for Daniel Jones, it's also a make or break year for Saquon as well, because remember the quarterbacks that they passed up and took him. He's supposed to be a gold jacket. So I think this is a pivotal year, and both of their futures are tied together, because if Saquon Barkley can't give you the type of productivity that McCaffrey gives you when he's over 1,000 yards, over 500 yards receiving, then it's going to put the ball in Daniel Jones a little bit too much.
He was drafted right ahead of Sam Darnold, then Josh Allen, then Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a former MVP and a guy who looks like he might be a future MVP. So, Ninko, if this is a make or break year for Daniel Jones, which way do you expect it to go?
I would like to see him make it, and I think that's what everyone wants to see, especially for the New York Giants, the fan base. Look, I know that the people are gonna beat me up on this one. I like to see the Giants succeed with Daniel Jones. You know why? Because my guy Joe Judge is the head coach, and I want to see him do well as the head coach. So I think that Daniel Jones has all the pieces in place to have a successful year. So Barkley, them legs are going to have to be sturdy this year, and they look sturdy because they're going to have to rely on him to be that guy, to run the ball, to set up the play action pass. And as a quarterback, I said this earlier, if you're one-dimensional, you could be in trouble. So you got to have a running game. You got to set up your play action pass. That affects the defense tremendously.
Now, the offensive line continues to be a factor. Every year they address it, and every year it somehow gets worse. Jeremy Fowler, what is your sense around the league?
Well, I know the Giants are still bullish on Daniel Jones, and they made all these offseason moves with Jones in mind. They believe with a #1 receiver like Kenny Golladay, more weapons at his disposal, takes the pressure off tight end Evan Ingram, that Jones will finally flourish. He might not be a top 5 guy, but they believe he can function and help them win games in a big way. And Saquon Barkley, he might not be as consistent as some of the other running backs in the league, but he's a big play splash guy. He just simply hasn't had that for Daniel Jones the last 2 years. I know the Giants, I'm told, believe Barkley is moving well, that in camp with his aggressive rehab, he's going to push the team to make a decision on him in week 1 to play sooner than later. That should help Daniel Jones in a big way if he can get those splash plays.
They're going to have big decisions to make on contracts for both of those players reasonably soon, Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. Okay. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.